right, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How we doing? How we feeling? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a good weekend. Ran into a couple speed bumps this morning, but you know, it is what it is. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with this quote of the day drive by. So I'm gonna start calling them. I'm just gonna drop them on you and then keep it moving. All right, so for the quote of the day, we have, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. All right, that's the quote of the day. Quote of the day, drive by. Let's go ahead and do this pre-market insight. All right, so for the economic outlook calendar, today we got new home sales at 10. Tomorrow got core durable goods and the CB consumer confidence. Wednesday, only crude oil inventories. Thursday, got the GDP, initial jobless claims, and pending home sales. And Friday, nothing. All right, so that's what we got on the economic calendar. Go ahead and look at that power range. All right, so for the NQ future sessions power range, we had a high of 11,651 with a low of 11,574. At the time of this posting, we were trading neutral, even though we were down 0.86%. Which today the power range has a big range. The market opened, it gapped down. If I'm not mistaken, it gapped. I have to look at that later. But there was a big gap, and then we had a huge power range, a lot of volatility at the open, with a volume of 85K and ATR 259.88. So let me go ahead and look at that in trading view. All right, yeah, so you see we had this nice little gap down. I think it was like 0.30%, somewhere around there. A lot of sell-off, continue at the open. Then we had a little bounce. Hung around that range for a little bit and then traded lower, but now we're kind of trading sideways. All right, so with that big range, we should, it could be an interesting day. It give us a few opportunities to take some decent profits. All right. Go ahead and finish up some of the other housekeeping stuff. I had a little blue screen this morning, so had to start fresh with a lot of stuff. I used to at night. The night before one of my streams, I like to prepare a little bit and have some things ready and just where that I have less things to do in the mornings. But I had to kind of start over this morning once my computer started to decided to blue screen on me. Which one of these I don't want? This one. Also, I gotta see if YouTube want to cooperate with me today. I'm gonna have to look over here. It was like giving me, showing me some of the the chats, like, really, it was extremely delayed. I don't know if that's because of the video or it's a little weird. And then the data that it's giving me was off. Of course, I don't have none of my headphones on me today. One second. Gotta check out all my audio. A little bit of technical difficulties this morning. Okay, got everything situated just in time for my pre-market screenshot. It's one of the beauties of, taking my journals within Notion. If I do have if something does happen to my computer, I don't have to worry about anything that any notes or anything that I took a note of being lost, because it's all saved in the cloud. If I was using something like, like a Microsoft product, not 365, but even sometimes 365 doesn't work that great. So you could be working on something, taking some good notes or whatever, and then your computer decides to crash on you, and then you lose everything. Let's see. Now Ninja Trader 8 doesn't want to cooperate. I'm having all kind of troubles this morning. Now Ninja Trader 8 doesn't want to load correctly. There we go. All right. Got a lot of buying out the gate. Move this over here. Minimize that. So we do have this gap from overnight that we can it could possibly close. Doesn't have to. On the daily, we still are kind of battling that support. Actually, it was at 600, so we're trading back up to that at this moment. Not sure I'd be crazy to trade against it. We got about a minute left for this before I get the green light to start placing trades. shooting right through that. Since we do have a long way to go, I may try to jump on this momentum. Let's see, this is how I'm going to do it.
Order submitted. Order filled. Order submitted.
I'm gonna play around with this one. They stop me out.
Stop order canceled.
Alright. So I tried to jump on the momentum real quick. I was gonna switch over to cameras, but I didn't really have time. But it didn't work out the way that I wanted it to, so I got out for a scalp. It can still run up. It's not really, doesn't like it's done yet. It's just really choppy at this level. Did manage to take a screenshot. That's gonna go in the journal. The journal section of mv3trader.com. there's the run up. I figured it would do that. I just didn't, since it was so parabolic, I didn't. Even though it shows a lot of momentum, so I could have definitely held that. Now it's just waiting for my ideal trade, for the setup that I want to see. Already got a title for today's journal. The bulls are hungry this morning. Definitely want to wait for, some significant pullback or some consolidation.
Order submitted.
Right there. But no, if it trades down that quickly.
Order canceled.
At this point, I can expect it to bounce around a little bit. Is that wick on the 942? Is that your 942 3-minute candle? It's pretty significant. So I definitely don't see us having another run. There is a slight possibility that it could happen because anything is possible, but I don't foresee us having another bullish run yet. Also, Friday was an inside day candle, so if we break out in either direction, then we can have a little run. More than likely, it looks like it would be to the long side, or the market is trying to push it that way.
Order submitted.
Still not looking for a breakout yet. If I was looking to take a breakout, I would wanted to trade sideways just a little bit longer. Or to have, like, you know, sort of the rubber band man action where we have a quick little dip, almost like a trap for people trying to short. And then we trade back higher. However, if you look on the, what is this, a 30-minute? Yeah, I got a 30-minute over here too. We're still bearish overall. Bearish to neutral in the big picture. Did it draw something right there? Can't even see it. That's weird. I can't see what the trend line I just drew there on the chart that I drew it on. That is weird. I got a message. Apparently, hide chart drawings is enabled. I don't ever remember doing anything like that, so I'm gonna have to look at that later. Take a screenshot. There's the run happened a little bit before. I would have liked it too. Let's see. Is it true? So this 3 minute candle here, I was kind of looking at that message when we got this, when this once this bar closed, this I wouldn't mind going long on the break of that candle, but not really looking to for much of a move. It's still not my ideal setup, but because it is such the way that it formed, I would kind of take that maybe with a little bit of protection, just looking for a quick pop. But I'm definitely, if I took it here, I would definitely expect it to pull back a little, to pull back a little before actually continuing to climb higher. That's just the way I would look at it. I wouldn't expect anything like we got here at the open. But the bulls are pushing the market higher, which is a good sign to look for entry long. With the setup that I want some kind of a pullback. A little more than this. This is technically considered a pullback, but it's not the one that I'm looking for. So I could have even taken that long, and then had another order sitting down here, taking a partial up here, had another order sitting there, because this is definitely some bullish momentum. So I wouldn't expect a lot of selling. If we did have selling, that would be abnormal, and there would be a lot of traders trapped long that wouldn't be happy about that. But what I wanted was like I mentioned earlier, some sideways trading, or some sideways, a little more sideways action, or maybe, let's see if I can draw it to where it makes more sense. Either we trade sideways, or we have a little dip and then trade higher, if that makes sense. The way I see it in my head is not the way that I drew it. Hindsight Capital screenshot, of course, for the journal. Let's see how much of a pullback we get. Also, I need to give myself, I got some ideas that I want to test out. I'm still kind of, there's some things that I want that I don't know how to, that I'm not able to do in NinjaTrader 8 that I can do in Sierra, in terms of, like scaling in and out of a trade. So I just had an idea of what could possibly work. So I need to make sure I can use this day to go back and test that out. I just need to remember to download the data to be able to replay it. And another quick micro pullback. Definitely, at this point, this would be chasing, from my point of view. So all I can do is wait. since it's already after 10, I probably won't get another. It's very likely I won't get another trade today. So, just looking back, I could have, held that other one longer, the one that I did take longer, or I could have took the breakout right there. Could have been really aggressive with it and got in at 649, or waited for a little bit more confirmation and got in at 656, 75 ish. We just call it 656. But those are not really my favorite setups to take. Hashtag no regrets. I'm not gonna do it. If any of you were able to catch it, that's awesome. Or trade it better than I did. Let me put it that way. As I caught it, I just took myself out of it too quickly. Actually, I caught it at the best location, according to, within the parameters of my rules or my plan. I originally caught it the best place, the absolute best place I could have caught it. Let's see, what did I get in? Yeah, I got in at 608.50. Yes, I got it right there. Or wrong screen. So the first trade I took, I got in right there. That's the absolute best place that I could have caught it, with my plan, or with my rules of not taking that first 3-minute candle. So I took it and I let it, bounce around there for a little bit until it started trading back higher. I was, hoping for this candle a little quicker than it happened, but I had to wait a little bit longer. But I let it bounce around there for a little bit until I started seeing some more green, and then I moved the stop up to around break even-ish. But it flashed back down on me, and then hung around there for a little bit until we got this close, and then it traded higher. It's all good. It be like that sometimes. That's a nice bullish, bearish. Maybe we'll get some candle pair right here. So maybe we'll get some significant pullback. The unfortunate part is I do have somewhere I got to go today. So it's that decision making time if I want to take a trade at this time or not. Mondays have been busy days for me lately. Good morning, Mrs. Williams. Sawako in the building. I'm gonna switch over screens for a little real quick. You know that's backwards. Whatever. Yeah, that's right. Based off the volume profiles, there's a good chance that we don't trade any lower than we just did. But if it does, we do have more levels to buy off of. Get this out of there. It actually has a lot of room to retrace. Could pop higher right here. I can see the potential of the beginning of a channel formation, a descending channel, or even a flag pattern or pennant pattern. So the volume profiles showed us those buyers that came in right there. It's just a matter of if they're strong enough to keep pushing the price higher. Sellers are fighting back. And that 30-minute chart that I mentioned before, how we were still trading, we were overall bearish. That's what the price action that we're seeing right now is like the retest of the break of that trend. And we can either draw a trend line there, which I tried to do earlier, or we can just look at a 200 moving average on that 30-minute chart. Both shows us the trend and how we're retesting it. So if I really wanted to be aggressive, I could have went long right there where, you know, I said, well, we should have right here where the volume profile showed us that there should be some buyers sitting there. However, like I mentioned earlier, I would like some more pullback. And the reason I like, you know, all that pullback is it gives me more room to the upside. If I was, if I was trying to scalp, you know, I would be in these trades much earlier and just taking, you know, the pops. I would definitely use the volume profiles to do that. I'm gonna make a video. You know, I've been a little, just, you know, full transparency. I've been a little, you know, I've been not completely focused, you know, on a lot of projects that I want to do. Part of it is I got too many projects that I want to do, so I gotta just narrow it down to, you know, just one or two things and get them done. But one of the videos that I want to make here soon is about how I got volume profiles set up on the Sierra chart, and a little bit for, you know, what I have picked up from using the volume profiles. Actually, one of my favorite indicators. Shout out to Origin, you know, for introducing them to me. Or I knew about them before, but I just didn't pay attention to it, you know, to a little, you know, it was introduced in a different way. But it looks like I'm not gonna get another trade today. Let me go ahead and rename this. I just realized I had the wrong date in there too. still looks like a descending channel. Let's see if we get confirmation on that. This can still end up being a pennant. Alright, so in the interest of time and with the things that I have to do today, with my schedule for today, I'm gonna go ahead
Order canceled.
and remove that order right there. But I still like that if I was, trying to trade longer. And go ahead and change that back over to the other chart. I want to be in a trade and I have to, trying to prepare myself for the other things that I have to do. I want to be completely focused on the trade. So have to, the market is open tomorrow, Someone told me that. One of the good things about trading, the market isn't gonna go anywhere. And if it does, all the other stuff doesn't matter, because that would be a big problem. I'm just gonna watch this real quick and call it a day after this candle right here. Or two more bars. Okay, that's why I had the order when it got filled there. I would be adding right here where we got this pivot. Still being only one contract. That second contract should be at 6:30. It's at 6:26. That would be two contracts. With this price action, I would have a target at 650. accept the loss at 606. This would be a lot of profuse sweating range right here. No, just joking. But anyway, we're gonna leave the results as a mystery. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Appreciate y'all coming, hanging out, trading with me. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Deuces.